laugh at her, guys.
The camera is slightly blind. The camera is recording.
Oh, it's moving by itself.
Can't even see him. Where'd Nick go?
Oh, you can write just on time.
Okay.
So, how many of you guys are subscribed to Netflix? Okay, that's all of you. Okay, so today my presentation is about, I'm going to tell you the effects that Netflix has on society. So, streaming videos and watching movies online has become really convenient for people. You can do it at the touch of a button, you can watch movies at home, or you can watch movies on the go with your friends and family. So Netflix has changed the way we watch movies and shows. Instead of paying $8 for a movie ticket for one night for one movie, you can buy a month-long subscription to Netflix and watch them whenever you want. So today I'm going to tell you the effects that Netflix has on, I'm going to tell you how extensive Netflix is, how easily reachable it is, the effects that it has on your health, and the effects that it has on the casual hookup culture in America. Okay, so Netflix offers so many different movies. There's a whole section just for kids. You know, if you have little siblings or little cousins or if you're babysitting, there's so many movies. And it offers classic American sitcoms like Friends. You know, that's a favorite of many people, even this generation, because it's so easily available. There's Netflix original series like Orange is the New Black, which is, I think is their Emmy women nominees in there. And there's also this new movie, The Ridiculous Six, starring Adam Sandler. Is a Netflix original movie that's going to stream in December. So you have all of these big stars who have been nominated for big nominations and who have been winning big nominations on Netflix because it has garnered so much attention, and it has it's easily available to anyone who has a cell phone. You can download the Netflix app. You can type in your password and watch movies if you're walking to school, if you take the train, like Amtrak, or if you're bored at school, go to the library and watch a movie all the time. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the revenue of Netflix. In 2015, there were 65.6 billion subscribers in the United States alone. At the end of 2015, which is at the end of December, there is projected to be 69.1 billion subscribers at the end of the year. So in 2013, there were 40 million subscribers, so you can see how big of a leap that it has taken. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the effects that Netflix has on your health. According to an article written by CNN.com, sitting for a prolonged amount of time is not only dangerous for your vertebrae, you're compressing your vertebrae and you're straining your neck, but it can also lead to chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes and chronic heart disease, which can eventually lead to death. So you're sitting on a sofa. Sofa isn't, you know, it's very soft and it doesn't have much support for your back or for your neck. So you're just sitting on the sofa and you're compressing your whole spine. You're pretty much slouched over. I mean, if you think about it, all we do is sit all day. You're here sitting on your desk. It's not very comfortable. It's hard. It doesn't offer much lumbar support or pretty much any support for your neck or your back in total. So this is just a chart, you know, if you sit at work too, conducted by people who work, that says that 90% of normal men who sit more than, I believe it was 6 hours a day, they have a 90% more chance to die, and men who sit more than 6 hours per day at work are more like 40% more likely to die than people who do half of that time sitting down. So now I'm going to talk about Netflix and chill. I'm sure all of you guys have heard that term. If you haven't, I don't know, maybe it's a joke between your friends, like, you know, casually, or your significant other. But on the internet, it has become something real and pretty creepy. If you guys can read it, it's SpongeBob and Patrick. But, so I'm going to, okay, so Netflix, the term Netflix and chill is a euphemism now over the internet that has become pretty much coming over for casual sex. But over the internet, it has become something really real. According to an article published by STDcheck.com, 50 million users in America alone use apps like Tinder, Grindr, and Craigslist for these sexual encounters. Half of those are teens between the ages of 13 to 18, and they're advertised literally, it just says, looking for someone to Netflix and chill. So this leads to high levels of STDs. Let me just talk about, on Craigslist, I found this picture of a reporter, Holly Mausden. She's a writer for Newsweek. And she tweeted this picture. I don't know if you guys can read, but on Craigslist it says Netflix and chill. People advertising for other people to do that with them, because it pretty much just means having sexual intercourse casually and conveniently. Yeah, so she tweeted that picture. So, I'm sorry. The amount, it's pretty real, and it leads to high levels of STDs. In Rhode Island, the same article, STDcheck.com, goes on to say that in Rhode Island, they conducted a study of the levels from STD rises from 2013 to 2014. So in the span of 1 year, levels of syphilis increased 79%, levels of gonorrhea increased 33%, and levels of newly identified cases of HIV increased 33%, all because of how easily social media is available to, mainly to teenagers through the apps like Tinder, Grindr, and Craigslist. So in summary, may I remind you that Netflix has revolutionized the way we watch TVs and movies now with our friends, our families. If you just want to watch a movie alone, or your favorite shows if you want to binge watch them. But due to its extensive reach and its far vast, conveniently, it can lead to effects that are hazardous for health, and it can lead to negative effects on the casual hookup for American culture.
I can see through it, yeah. Yep. Yep. Well, my demonstration, I got 6 minutes. Probably not. I haven't decided, but.
Oh, she's over there. All right, Anna. Let me start with the delivery issues first, and then we'll talk about the content. I think that you have some good indicators when you're speaking. You sometimes kind of point over your shoulder, and when you want us to see something in particular, you're doing that kind of thing. On the other hand, sometimes you turn around and start talking to the screen a little bit, and so you want to be careful about that. I saw you delivering your speech several times over your shoulder to us, and we're over here, and you're doing that sort of thing. And I know that you're trying to remind yourself of what's up there, but you want to be careful about that. I thought your facial expressions look engaged. You were interested in the subject. You were responding to things that you were talking about, and they reflected kind of the emotions that you had at any particular point, so you're doing okay there. The visuals are fine for the most part. You need to project your voice more. I know you've got kind of a quiet voice, and you know what? I think there's actually pretty good energy in your voice, but it's hard to tell because it's so low. So the variety in your voice in tone could be greater, and the volume could be a little bit greater. Let's see. Pacing's about right. Now let's talk about the content issues. I think that you start off with a kind of a weak attention device. That audience survey thing really seems kind of lazy. I'm sorry if I'm being mean saying that, but I think I've told people that before. I think you could be a lot more. I mean, let's face it. You said, Netflix and chill. You said that, and everybody laughed. I'm thinking, hey, why don't you start off with that? Hey, anybody interested in going Netflix and chill tonight? And everybody would have reacted to that, and it would have been, more interesting and more involving, that sort of thing. Oh, apparently that means something that I didn't know. And then you can kind of go into the topic. I can see that you've got the mechanics of the structure in the speech. The biggest weakness are your transitions. It's basically when you move to another point, it's just now, next, now, and there's no smoothness. It doesn't flow very well as a consequence. So that'll be something that you want to work more on. All right, thank you.